Have you ever had that little voice of doubt pop up right before a big presentation? Or maybe you held back a great idea in a meeting? Well, you are definitely not alone. But what if confidence wasn't some magic personality trait you're either born with or not? What if it's actually a skill, a critical skill you can learn and build? Because in today's professional world, it might just be the one thing that truly future-proofs your career. So let's get into it.
Here's our game plan. We're going to start by looking at the hard data behind what's being called the confidence crisis. Then we'll dive into how to rewire your own inner critic. After that, we're going to build out your personal confidence toolkit with some practical strategies. We'll also look at the huge role leaders play in all this. And finally, we'll connect the dots and show you why confidence is truly your ultimate career asset.
All right, first things first. Let's get a real handle on the situation. This feeling of uncertainty isn't just in your head. There's a real, measurable confidence problem happening all across the professional world.
So this number, it tells a really powerful story. A recent study found that only 43% of employees are confident that the best is yet to come for their organization. Think about that for a second. That means the majority, a full 57% of people, are feeling pretty shaky or even pessimistic about the future. Just imagine all the innovation and energy that's being held back by that uncertainty.
And when you dig a little deeper, you see this massive gap emerge. You've got 52% of leaders feeling optimistic, but only 38% of their employees feel that same way. And that disconnect, it's a huge deal, because if the people who are actually doing the day-to-day work don't share that confidence, moving forward as a team becomes incredibly difficult. All of this anxiety has actually led to this new behavior they're calling job hugging. It's exactly what it sounds like. People are so worried about a tough job market and hiring freezes that they're just clinging to jobs they're not happy in. The fear of being unemployed is just way bigger than their desire for a better role. It's a survival tactic, for sure, but it really kills engagement and personal fulfillment. And you can see where a lot of this anxiety is coming from. The big one, a whopping 65% of people are worried about AI replacing jobs. Then you have 50% concerned about a stagnant job market, and 40% who feel they aren't getting the right training for this new AI world. These aren't just vague fears, they're very specific anxieties that are directly chipping away at professional confidence. Okay, so you see all this external pressure. But here's the thing. That pressure creates some really big internal challenges. Before we can act with confidence, we've got to go head-to-head with those mental blockers, those little confidence killers that are holding us back from the inside. We all have that inner critic, right? And it tends to use the same old tricks. There's that negative self-talk that just feeds our self-doubt, the fear of failure that stops us from even trying, perfectionism, which can paralyze us, and of course, the big one for so many people, imposter syndrome, that nagging feeling that you're somehow a fraud. And if you've ever felt like an imposter, well, welcome to the club. You are in the vast majority. A staggering 62% of employees around the world say they've experienced this feeling. It's that sense that you don't really deserve your own success, that you're just getting by on pure luck. And it hits everyone, even people at the very top of their fields.
So how do you fight back against all this? It really boils down to making one huge mental shift, moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. See, a fixed mindset tells you, hey, you're either good at this or you're not. But a growth mindset, it changes the game entirely. It reframes every single challenge, every mistake, not as a final judgment, but as a chance to learn and get better. And here's a really powerful, really practical way to start making that shift. It's all about self-compassion. Instead of beating yourself up, just try this little thought experiment. The next time that inner critic starts yelling, pause and ask yourself this exact question. Come on, you would never talk to your best friend the way you sometimes talk to yourself, right? This simple question helps you give yourself a break and build that resilience. Okay, we've laid the foundation with that growth mindset. Now it's time to build on it. Let's get into the practical, actionable tools you can start using today to build your confidence, one step at a time. Confidence often comes directly from competence. When you know your stuff, you feel better. And one of the best ways to build both is to always be learning. But don't just vaguely think, I should learn something. Get specific, follow a real path, set small, achievable goals. Be brutally honest about where your skill gaps are. Find a mentor. And this is the most important part. Immediately find a way to apply what you've just learned. That's what makes it stick. The way you communicate isn't just a reflection of your confidence. It's actually a tool you can use to build it. And I'm talking about being assertive. Now, assertive doesn't mean aggressive. It just means being clear,
honest, and respectful. It's about advocating for your ideas and needs while also being a really good listener. Finding that balance builds so much assurance in all of your interactions.
All right, this next one might sound a little bit simple, but I promise you it's a technique used by top performers in literally every field. Before a big presentation, a tough negotiation, whatever it is, take just a few minutes to close your eyes and picture yourself absolutely nailing it. This mental rehearsal actually primes your brain for a positive outcome. It calms your nerves and basically tells your brain, hey, we've got this. Look, all this individual work is absolutely crucial. But let's be real, confidence doesn't just grow in a vacuum. It needs the right environment to really thrive. So now let's talk about the massive impact that leaders and the overall company culture have on building a truly confident team. It really all starts with a clear and inspiring vision. When people actually understand the why behind their work, why it matters, it fuels their motivation like nothing else. It gets everyone in the boat rowing in the same direction. When people feel connected to a larger purpose, their own confidence in their work just soars. And leaders have to be the ones setting that tone. This quote from Volkswagen's CEO, Oliver Bloom, just nails it. It's about shifting the narrative. Instead of getting bogged down in defending what used to work or being afraid of what's changing, great leaders inspire a real hunger for what's next. They focus on opportunity, not on decline. But maybe the single most important thing a leader can do is create psychological safety. That just means making it safe to be human at work. It's creating a space where people aren't afraid to ask questions, where mistakes are treated as learning moments, not reasons to point fingers, and where people are encouraged to take smart risks. This right here, this is the bedrock of any high-performing, super confident team. All right, let's bring this all home. Why have we spent all this time talking about conference? Why is it so incredibly critical right now? Because in a world that is constantly changing, confidence is the ultimate skill that will future-proof your career. The modern workplace demands agility. You have to be able to pivot, to learn new things on the fly, and to just navigate all this uncertainty. Well, confidence is the engine that drives that agility. It's the core belief in your own ability to figure things out even when you don't have a clear map. It's what lets you embrace change instead of fighting it. And this really shows you how it all fits together perfectly. Confidence isn't just some fluffy, soft skill. It's a foundational building block. It's what supports your resilience, what makes collaboration possible, and what you absolutely need to manage change effectively. It's not just nice to have, it's a strategic must-have. So in the end, building confidence isn't a destination you just arrive at one day. It's a practice. It's not about getting rid of all your self-doubt. It's about having the courage to move forward anyway. It's about shifting your focus from needing all the answers to just being curious. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. What's one question you'll ask, one small step you'll take tomorrow to start building your own unshakable confidence?